Reminded that while you're doing your purpose, while you're out there, while you're putting yourself out there in any job that is good for you, any type of job, God is going to make it happen. I'm going to give you 5 Bible verses for the day. So the first verse is Isaiah 60 verse 22. And it says, "The least one shall become a clan, and the smallest one a mighty nation. I am the Lord. In its time I will hasten it." I like this verse because right here at the bottom it says, "I am the Lord." So it says it that he is an authority. Then it says, in its timing, not in our pace, but in God's pace, he will make it happen. So while we're in our fields, while we're working, whether that's retail, whether that's, any type of job, wherever you want to go, God is preparing you for the next thing to do, for the destiny, the field that he has called you to do. It says it that in his timing, he will make it happen, developing your character. He is preparing you. While you are there, he's building your finances. He's building your character, preparing you to be a wife if you want to be a wife. Building up your character so that way when you live on your own, you can have this prosperous lifestyle, have the character. He wants us to be matured and through it all to be unified with other people as well. The next Bible verse I recommend for your purpose is Matthew 20 verse 28. It says, "Even as the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." So right away, what God is saying here is that Jesus himself did not come to be lavish, to be, to have his feet, be rubbed or to have massage. No, he came so he could help people, to heal other people, to open their eyes so that way they would see God, that they would see the truth. That is the same for us. We're not here to be served, like it's to help people, and that's a great part because that gives you an adrenaline. It gives you purpose. When you have the reason why you want to help people, it gives you even more of the love, the compassion. It makes you focus on that people are more important. It says, make people more important. It makes you selfless, so I recommend that. The next one is Proverbs 9 verse 10. And it says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One insight." So this one right here has been with me personally as a conviction that when you put God first, everything else is second. You're putting him first. And when you put him first, that gives you confidence. It doesn't let you be a snare, taking over you, caring what other people say. Putting him first, and it ultimately gives you wisdom, things that are from above, things that we as humans cannot see. So God is showing you his mysteries through you because you put him first. So the next verse is Proverbs 16 verse 4 that says, "The Lord has made everything for its purpose, even the wicked for the day of trouble." So how good is that? That everything will work out. When your purpose will work out. If you're in that space of that job, it's gonna work out. Everything has a purpose, meaning that everything has its own place for it to work. If the job says no, that's okay. It's a redirection so that way you can have a better job. That person left, it's because it was a positive thing, maybe it was a good thing, maybe that person wasn't a good influence for you. I'm saying that everything will work out, don't worry, keep trusting in him because he is in authority. When you give him that space of putting him first, all things will work out because everything has its space for it. So the people, the places that you'll go, You know, in whether you're at that job, you know, everything will work out. The job that you want, it'll work out, you know, because God knows where you belong, what people are going to be good for you. Influencers are out there that are going to help you. So I love that. One is Proverbs 16 verse 1, as the plans of the heart belongs to man, but the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. I love this one because for a very long time, you know, sometimes I think that I'm in control. I want things to work out this way and I have it all planned out. But God says that we might have the plans, and it's a good thing, you know, it's a good thing to have a plan, to have a vision for your life, of where you want to go, what is the purpose, what field do you want to go to. These are good intentions. But God says that at the end of the day, his tongue, what he says, will prosper. So whatever you might want, if it doesn't line up with his will, he's not gonna let it come to pass. You have to just keep trusting in him, and that is putting him in authority again, putting him first every single day, praying to him, thanking him, praising him, worshiping. When you put him first up in your top as your priority, you know, spending time with him in the mornings, waking up at 5, you know, those things are to help you to realize that you're not in control. God is, and that's a good thing. That's healthy. We might have the plans, but at the end of the day, if it's not according to his will, he won't let it pass by. He won't let it come to pass because it's not good for you. So we might think that one thing is good for me, but God is saying, no, Stephanie, that's not good for you. I'm not going to let you work there. And that's what happened to me. Like recently, I went to an interview. I made it to the second interview, and they emailed me saying, no, we rather pass on to another person. And I said, okay. It's a little bit frustrating, but it's also kind of nice because it's a redirection, because God is saying, I have somewhere else to go. I'm gonna put you somewhere else where people will need you, where you can serve and help people, where you will fit in the right place for God to be in. So I'm gonna leave it there. So I hope this helps. Just a reminder that no matter what field you're in, no matter what job it is, keep working, keep doing it, because you is changing lives, and ultimately it's improving your character, and it's ultimately going to push you to the direction you're supposed to go to. You know, ultimately it's also push you to your destiny of where you're supposed to go. So I hope that helped, and stick around. I'm gonna do another part 3 and for the next one. So okay, bye.